Black History Month.
Yes.
A necessary process or just another source of division? Well, Black History Month, what is it? Is it still relevant today? After all, we have the internet, social media. An African-American man was put in the office of the president in 2008. Is Black History Month still relevant?
Negro Week was instituted by Carter Woodson, exposing school children to African-American history. Woodson wanted to encourage...
So this was called Negro Week?
Yes, it was Negro Week. It was
when did
not
that start?
That started back in 1926, between 1915 and 1926.
Okay.
And Woodson wanted to institute a means by that he could encourage social equity for African Americans by showing other people how much for the country's growth stemmed from Black contribution, not only through slavery, but also through countless creative, academic, professional, athletic, political, and cultural contribution.
Well, Hitman, do you think that African American or Black History Month is something that's relevant today, that's still needed?
I think it's a little bit relevant. I think it could go both ways. It all depends on how we handle it. I think it raises confidence in Black people and awareness. So I think it helps in a certain degree. It all depends on how. If you look at the world today and see how many people are dying over drugs and black guys, you feel like it's a waste of time.
It seems as though the easiest thing to do is just tell the truth in the beginning. When I was in school, elementary school, and we looked at history, there was nothing in there about Black people. I think the book was a pretty thick book. But out of this whole book, I think it had 2 pages of Black people in it, and they just came out of nowhere. They were just slaves, and they said, this is some slaves from Virginia, and they had no beginning, they had no history, they had no presence, they had no past. They were just saying, there's some slaves. And then after they showed the picture, it was back to the rest of the history that Black people in this country were left out of. What was it like that for you?
Yes, it was that way for me. And just to continue with a few more facts about the Seashore Moment of Facts, Black history is celebrated February 1st through March 1st, or February 28th. Negro History Week in 1926 was the second week of February. This was coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Black history began as Negro History Week, and after the Civil Rights Movement in 1960, it elevated Negro History Week and turned it into a month-long celebration. And in 1976, President Gerald Ford made things official, proclaiming February to be Black
Republican, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And proclaiming February to be Black History Month.
And so that's what we have today.
That's what we have today.
I might could understand it in the 1970s, but
Yes.
again, the question is raised, do we benefit from this? Do we as a nation benefit from having this month-long procession? Hitman?
I don't know. I got a question to ask Black people. If there was no slavery, if we came over here on our own free will, with no prejudice, do you think there would have been a Black History Week or a Black History Month?
Oh.
That's an interesting question.
Do they have that in Africa, since Black people originated in Africa? Is that a Black History Month in Africa?
Not for Black Americans. There isn't. The word has it that a lot of Africans do not acknowledge American Black people as having African origins or African roots.
Okay.
They say we're a different group of Negroes. Many of them think that, not all. So
because
no.
they just want to feel like the rest of the part of the other people, I guess.
Ooh, Black people want to feel the rest of the body?
In Africa, since they don't have they're not worrying about a Black History Month.
No, they don't. Well, I guess the need would be different there.
The Black people there may not see themselves as Black, so I don't think Black history is as important. You know, we that's what we see, but I'm not sure that's the vision there
You
in
remember
Africa.
a long time ago, if you called each other black, that was offensive.
Yeah.
Oh, you black.
Yeah.
Or like I remember when I was in school, this was 1968, 67. We was watching a film. You know, one of those movie projectors and Africans dancing around. And we laughed at them. Hey, there goes Calvin's mother. We cracked up at it because we didn't understand our culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And teach us nothing about our culture. I mean, we cracked up.
Yeah.
And I
Was
think-
this in a predominantly black school?
Yeah, predominantly black school.
In Baltimore.
A Guilford middle school.
Interesting.
And I think too, going back to when I was in college more so, that was during the Black Power Revolution. Talking to some Africans there that were going to my school, they did not they didn't reference themselves as black or African Americans. They considered themselves as Africans, and they would tell us.
Well, they were Africans. They weren't
Yes.
from here.
And they would tell us, black students, you're not us. You're not from our country, and you don't understand our culture, and that's true. And so,
Perfectly correct.
Yes, and they say African Americans, maybe you're American African American because you're not African.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I heard Mr. C say black is not a race. Is that right? I mean, what are we?
And
the question becomes,
what are we?
Yeah, white people can call themselves Caucasians. They have a name for them. You know,
That's right.
The Latinos. You know.
Yeah, but the thing about it is we're not African. You know, whatever we call ourselves,
I guess
we should just go, mutts.
Mutts.
Yeah, that's cool.
Running around
Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, American mutts. Some of the best.
That's a good title, American Mutts.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's what it should be. That's right, American Mutts.
Yeah, I could dig it.
Because we've gone through quite a few changes with the name of black people. Niggers, Negro, African Americans, blacks. So what are we?
Well, it's a shame. I hear some black woman and some black guys say, "Oh, I'm not." I hear some black guys say, "I'm not messing with another black woman." But what you're doing, you're messing up our communities. Our communities can't grow.
What-
you
what-
don't want to date out your race. I mean, that's fine. You got the right to do that. But
Right.
it's crazy nowadays. We would be more loyal to our own race.
Wait a minute now.
Wait.
No,
I'm
that's nuts.
Why would you say
Why not?
that we shouldn't be loyal? Is
Right.
that what you're telling me?
To our
How do you
race.
define loyalty?
Well, I mean, what I mean by that, you just date within your own race mostly, or that's what you prefer. Yeah, well, I mean, just like white men are loyal. Most of them are loyal to their own race. Most of them. I'm not saying all of them.
You
see
think
some
so?
White guys dating black women, but
Yeah.
not as many.
Well, I think it's just a matter of preference. You love who you love.
Well, black guys have been known to be the most easiest to get along with, the most acceptance.
There may be some truth
Yeah,
in that.
he's the most easiest. He's not gonna. If he sees a fine Latino, guess what? Guess what, Mr. C?
Well, there's truth in that.
Yes.
Everyone has their preferences.
Right.
I like black women, but
And I see what Hitman is saying. As you divide it, maybe.
nah, but the freedom to move back and
It's-
forth is
it's-
the best thing.
Well, it hurts me when I
don't
hear that
wanna-
a little bit. Not say, like
it's- and
black
it's-
guys say, "Oh, I'm not dating another black woman."
That's right.
Or vice
and they
versa.
said,
That just,
they sure do. They sure do say it. And I didn't
Well, I
even
mean,
try to find
and culture's right. You have a
black
right.
women
And-
say
and
some of that about black men
it's
too.
not
you
so
know,
much.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
You're
Everybody
right.
comes down on that one.
both races would get mad if they see
Yeah.
their own race dating out.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So, is there a lesson that we can apply to Black History Month as far as interracial dating and marriage is concerned? Isn't part of Black History Month to get us to a point where we sort of outgrow these things?
Yeah,
at least the
I think
fear
you're
of them.
And
I
yes.
think it's okay to identify racial differences. As a matter of fact, I think we're supposed to.
Right.
That's a gift from the Creator to us for people to look different and have different cultures. That's a plus for us. We're not supposed to be bored. But rather than using it as a bad thing, as it's been
you're right. We can use it as a
put
good
together
thing.
Today.
Because
exercise our freedom.
Yeah.
And dating outside our race without being, somebody ready to shoot you. Because you see it more and more today, and I think it's a beautiful thing. But
yeah, I like the freedom of movement. I don't necessarily advocate for either one. My personal preference, is my personal preference. But I like the idea of the freedom of people being able to go back and forth.
That's good. That's good. That is good.
Yeah. So would Black History Month, do you think it's played a role in our struggle or our understanding of black and white relationships? Has it been an overall plus to our society? Are we examples of it being a good thing or a bad thing, V?
I think it could be a good thing, but it's very weak. Black History Month is weak because of what it actually stands for, but what people believe it is. And it's not just about talking about black people, what they did or whatever. It's unity. And Black history could unite us. And make the reason why Black History Month was instituted was to expose school children to Black history, which was not in the books. And I think somebody said that, when they were in school, that the only books they read were the ones with Sally, Dick, and Jane. Right. And there was
Sally through the alley.
That's true. And there was no information about blacks in that in the book. And I think that's why Black history exists, but I think it's very weak. Now it's normal.
Those books in the schools have changed.
Yes,
I thought it was
history books in the schools today are very inclusive of a lot of cultures.
Okay, is that book out yet?
Oh yeah.
The book I'm talking about. Have you seen it in school about the book of black inventions? Is that?
No, I don't know about that.
And see, this is
that's what I'm saying. We talk about it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Nothing. You might have to go to a special place for like the Black
and
Museum
like I'm going. I will share with you. I think I've said before, I am a descendant of a black inventor.
Yeah.
Okay, and that has been proven. And this person, he's my great grandfather, and that's not in the books up until, I don't know if it is now, but it actually happened. We did a lot of research and found out he invented the peanut picker. And that was never in the books.
Steam-powered,
him to be recognized
recognized for it. Yes,
an industrial device.
And exactly in 1902, and they say that
How old were you then, by the way?
I don't want to say, because they'll be wondering why I look so young.
Ooh, very good, V. Very good.
So that's one that I know of. Black History Month became just the Booker T. Washingtons, the Harriet Tubmans. What about, there are other people that have contributed?
Absolutely.
And that's not in the books.
Well,
and you're right, it should have been in there.
It's basically a political process.
Exactly.
We hear about the same people year after year.
Every year.
There's a whole bunch of other people that have contributed.
A lot.
Exactly.
A lot. So.
And some of their names are names of people that are popular, but they don't get associated with black history. They're black. Exactly. And they have climbed to heights. They've done some pretty amazing things, but they don't get included in black history because they're Republicans or they're conservatives.
Or whatever.
They don't get mentioned in there. They get left out. Why does that happen?
And see, I think also, too, they're whites, Republicans or whoever that have contributed to the black culture, and they're not talked about.
Of course.
Of course. That's why I say Black History Month is weak.
Well, but again,
they have to make it interesting.
Right. As Mr.
Americans will go for it.
It's the script.
Yeah, it is a script, and Americans go for the script.
Yep.
And isn't
or like that? What's that John Wick movie where they shooting each other and he don't get shot once? Like, come on.
Well, Star Wars was good for that. The bad guys would shoot like millions of rounds and not hit anything.
Shot, or ain't got injured
Right,
or
nothing. And the hero would take one shot and just destroy, the whole army and shit. Yeah, so it's all a bunch of hype.
Yes.
Just like Black History Month. It's a bunch of hype. They can just tell the truth in everyday school, which, to their credit, they're trying to do. Because the history books that I've seen, and I've seen up-to-date ones, are very inclusive of not only black culture, but Asian culture, Indian culture, women, a lot of stuff is in there, very different from how it used to be. So between the textbooks being different, the internet, social media, and again, having put an African American in office in 2008 in the office of the president, is Black History Month relevant? Is it even needed anymore? You can put your opinions in the comment section. This is The C Show.